I just made a video on on another channel, on another YouTube channel about about art stuff. So I started a video blog or video channel on art and creation and all the stuff that I've done through my life creatively, kind of just talking to creatives and giving my track on that world. But as you guys know, I'm in Oroville, California. It's July 5th, 2020, probably around 9:20 maybe p.m. And I'm gonna talk more. And this is something that I think about every day because everyone around me seems to be thinking about it every day. Kind of like the stuff you see on Facebook. And I'm not sure like if future generations are gonna see this. I don't know if YouTube's gonna be a forever thing or if these videos are gonna carry on as archives to whatever society creates next. But I mean, really, I am creating these videos for that, but I'm also creating these videos for the people now. And the reason I'm explaining this is because, before this, people had different ways of communicating with each other and documenting stuff, and just the world was different. Just technology changes how we do things, and it's not always for the better. So instead of dealing with people one-on-one and individually, there's a lot of anxiety and misunderstanding and rivalry amongst people via social media. And the problem with that is that it escalates. People play sides, escalate, we are very emotional to a computer. We're emotionally talking to a computer and emotionally reacting to our interpretations of what somebody on the other side of this computer screen is doing or saying. But it's a good documentation, just like TV. Before there was television, I mean, imagine seeing an image of another place in the world on a screen that never happened before, as far as we know. And so now we have where everybody gets to be on TV, on their screen, on their Facebook, put their face on their social media platform. Chicks are getting naked on their phones and sharing them, which I'm actually, to be honest, I think that's all right because we're humans. As a male, but there's also when you're 100 years old and your grandchildren get to see that. I mean, we're artists. I'm an artist, so doing this is important for my future because I think what would Miles Davis have done, or what would Bob Marley have done, or what would Jimi Hendrix would have done, or any of these musically talented, artistic legends, that went through rough spots. What I was trying to say is, it's better to keep your business to yourself and don't throw stones through computers. But, and that's the old ways, the ways which are usually tried and true. But there's also the thing where, like Martin Luther King, when he came out, and basically when you put yourself out there for other human beings, groups, especially groups of people, they normally turn on you, or else, you know what I mean? Like, there's the word of, what's that word? Man, my hair's all thrashed. The word martyr, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if people want to be a martyr. I really don't want to be a martyr, because that means you die before you get to really do what you're supposed to do. But maybe, like he was saying in the last speech he did, was, there's beauty to living a long life, But the truth is, not all of us get to do that, especially if you're world building, if you're putting yourself out there and challenging the outside world, because for the most part, we are, as artists, are idealistic and sensitive and honoring, and can't really measure how the world will react to us as we create and challenge the forces of humankind and governments and kingdoms and ideas, breaking ideas of truth and not truth. And so as I move in this world, I think about this stuff because I'm in it. I'm actually living it right now. At this second, I get if I can see 20 people a day pass by this damn store and do their little faces, and most of the time it's just like, are these people like real? Are they like, do they do anything else in their life? Like, do they just live for drama? You know what I mean? And so most of the time I feel like I'm being recorded or videoed. So it's a weird place because I'm not getting paid like the Hollywood people. And I'm not getting like to create $1 million movies, and you know what I mean? I'm not like in that process. So I'm not getting the perks of fandom and stardom and all this shit. So I'm pissed off because that's what I traded. That's what I was going for while I created all my works of art. So that, and it seems that people are responding, and it seems like people are using me for their agendas, like trying to get rid of racism or whatever through taking down statues or whatever. You know what I mean? Like Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, Red Lives Matter, Yellow Lives Matter, Women Matter, Men Matter, Dogs Matter, Cats Matter. So as the world does its thing that it's always done, like, I feel it's like, dude, like, I have not agreed to anybody, to any groups of people, on anything that have not had no conversations with people, have not have any agreements with people, I haven't had any alignments with people. So everyone outside of me, even my own family and people I live with, are doing their own thing. This whole town is doing its own thing. California is doing its own thing. America is doing its own thing. United States, Mexico, Canada, George Bush, Obama, Donald Trump, they're all doing their own thing. Like, I'm not involved with anybody's agendas. So white people and black people and Mexican people and Native American people and everyone, gay people, straight people, artists, Marvel, DC, Hollywood. None of these people speak for me, and I don't speak for any of these people. And that's number one. And that's number one because if I had a debate with any of these people, there would be agreements and there would be disagreements. And like, say, if people want to go to war, I would have reservations of why and why not. I don't have the information to know if China and America needs to go to war. I don't know. Do I like Chinese movies, kung fu movies? Yeah, I do. Do I hate Chinese people? No, I don't. Do I hate white people? No, I don't. Do I hate racist people? I do. Have great anger to people that dominate on another group of people because they feel superior and they want to take all the resources for themselves. So yeah, I have a problem with those people, those groups of people. And I question myself because I'm in the United States of America, I speak English, and I am a Native American descent. And, people get weird on that because they're like, oh, it's just, there's a whole history of weirdness of these continents and the whiteness that has happened to the red people, of who's the red nation or not. Even calling yourselves Indians is kind of weird, if you're not from India. So taking these words and using them for yourself to explain who you are is a weird thing. Indian, that's got to go. Even Native American, getting named by somebody else is weird. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody walks up to me and starts calling me a name that is not my name, and then I keep using it, that's just weird. You know what I mean? So the power that moves this earth at the moment and moves the people and the groups of people is a weird phenomenon that we're going through. I've never seen anything like it. I think a lot of people in this world right now are feeling weirded out because it's coming from the top. And so as I keep talking about all this stuff, I get repercussions. So these repercussions are good and bad. I've injured my face, I've injured my body, I feel like I've been poisoned, like I've been definitely incarcerated, and ridiculed and been humiliated. All the bad things you hear about in these books of that the Nazis did to the Jewish people, except, to the full extent. But it's been pretty bad, like as far as mental warfare. Been pretty intense. And I know I'm not the only one because I can read it in history that they've done this to a lot of musicians, colored people, like musicians, Miles Davis. And so it's not like I'm the only one that has felt the brunt of the Nazi agenda, white power stuff, economically and physically. The weird thing is that I'm still alive. The weird thing is that they're keeping me alive. Okay, so Muhammad Ali, this is like the closest people that I could think of that went through similar situations. Muhammad Ali went through the situations because he spoke up against white people, or the United States. Let me clear this up too, because this is very important. When I say white people, it's my bad because I'm grouping up a whole diverse set of people that don't deserve to be grouped up like that, even though maybe a lot of people group up themselves with those words. White, this whole art thing is about that, like there's no such thing as a white people. There's no such thing as a black people. Like that color white and that color black, like your skin don't look like that. So it's like that's what I really mean. But when I say white people, I guess what I'm trying to say is this group of people that call themselves white. I mean, I don't even know. That's the problem with what we're having at this moment is people call themselves Americans, but there's different groups of Americans. Like, we call it white privilege, but it's like, like the whole Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, or whatever, all lives matter. It's like, it's a weird thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's a weird association of groups of people, who's in what group, and if you're in one group, you can't be in the other group, or if you're in one group and it's not, they don't look like you or act like you, or whatever, you're a traitor. You know what I mean? Like, there's weird things going on, and a lot of people that are uneducated or that are run on emotions are very volatile. And it feels like the government and the authorities are actually pushing them to be volatile, as they've done to me. Like by economic repression is pretty tough on people. And as a man, you want to make sure you got your money. You got your money right. You got all these perks of working for a living. You get what you get what you need, and so when that doesn't happen, you get pissed off. So I understand the mentality of the people and the authorities and stuff like that. Kind of what they're doing, I don't know. But I just want to clarify that I'm not involved in any of that. Even though as an artist, I feel I've been put at the forefront of some weird stuff, which, there's a lot of artists. That's almost like a flattery, but like I said, I'm not getting paid for it, so that's not, and time, you can't buy time, you know what I mean? This has lasted over 5 years, and it's been even longer. So the thing with the groups of people that I've learned is appreciation of diversity, but appreciation of people that are not like you, don't look like you, don't talk like you, don't act like just appreciating, for me, appreciating white culture and what white culture has brought to the current world. I'm not part of that culture, even though I've been let just check out through the windows, and I watched the cartoons, I've played the video games, and watched the movies, and went to the schools. So I got to see kind of the fun stuff that technology has brought to the world as a kid. So I guess I don't know what I was trying to say. So basically, I wanted to clarify. So appreciation of the kingdom that we're in, whoever's running the kingdom. Because when you're poor, you have a point of view that that everybody that's rich or whatever, money wise, are bad people because they keep all the money or whatever. And what I've learned lately, and basically you're my own my own um, prejudices. So my own prejudices, uh, and I've never really had a lot of prejudging of groups of people um, because I've been in mixed groups, and I gotta be friends with people in mixed groups. So it wasn't. So I kind of just took it like that. But one of the prejudices that were that was passed down to me through my family lineage was looking at people that have worldly possessions like money and cars and houses and all this stuff like that are somehow crooks and criminals. And maybe some of that is relevant, but then at the same time, it's not true. Because if you look at business owners and stuff like that, there's a lot of diversity in the business owners, and a lot of business owners give much more than a poor person that that maybe only that just works 9 to 5 for a job, um, or doesn't work, whatever. That the effort that they put into their economic lifestyle, and it's almost like reap what you sow. Like if you don't put the time in and the effort to create something for yourself that will bring you money, because it's not easy. Like trying to make your own business is way different than working for a job, and um, it's not easy, man. It's not easy, even if maybe a lot of doors haven't been open for me. Uh, the thing with that is that seeing the people ahead of me and seeing like these business owners and watching them on YouTube and Facebook, like, it is twice as much work, if not more. And if you're willing to put in a lot of work, doesn't mean that you're going to be successful, but it will mean it is necessary. Like you can't have a store without being there dealing with everybody, and dealing with your employees, and dealing with the customers, and you know what I mean? Like no, everyone I know was not willing to do that. So they take another road, an easier road, that you get to live your life and do whatever you do, but you're not. And then you get pissed off at somebody that has something, you know what I mean? So there's people that just get free stuff. You get nice cars, you get all this stuff that not from effort or work, but just because of association. So, and you can't be mad at those people either, because it's like, that's just born. Sometimes you're born into it. So my prejudices are less, I hope, and especially in that world, even in the racial world, because everybody has a point of view. I really believe, I'm thinking maybe in some weird way that you just can't hear it. You just can't hear, you can't see our own like prejudices, man. Like, I don't know, I don't get it. I don't understand why white America doesn't understand that there's a problem. I mean, you must understand that there's a whole another group of people that been here forever, that also put in a lot of work in society. First of all, that you got civilizations that have been creating a lot longer than European civilizations, that put in all that a lot of work, and like the India and China and Middle East, Egypt, even the African, I forget what they're called, but they're a group of people, and there's been a lot of knowledge passed around, and even the native people here, in numbers and stuff. So this is inherited. A lot of the stuff that we have at this moment is inherited to a lot of different people. It wasn't just one group of people that gave everybody uh, computers or math or literature or art or you know, music. So so we all owe a lot to our ancestors, which is a lot of different people. And America itself, even if it's one group of people claims the civilization, there's been a lot of people that have created the America that we know now, United States of America, that we know now, has been a lot of different people, groups of people that that have contributed. You know, lives lost, lives given, constructions, buildings, words, leadership, family members, all that stuff. You know, like there's been a lot of productions of stuff, ideas of stuff. So, you know, I think we're confused on what we owe each other, you know, and how we distribute wealth, who deserves it, and old ways and new ways, you know. It's just what it is, you know. So I don't know. That's not really for me to say because I'm not a politician or a lawmaker, but I am an artist and I speak on it. That's my thought on it, my point of view on it. But what I was trying to really say is my personal stuff. My personal stuff, I have issues because I got some Mexicans myself and my family members in California. So I got issues, good and bad. But since I've been on lockdown, I've been like, it's really weird, man, because it's like, dude, you guys are putting me out for the white people, like the racist white people. Like, are you guys like putting me out there for like Oroville and like Butte County, like to aggravate people, to piss people off? Because I do that, and I'm obviously been doing that, and I'm good at it. And even if I'm a nice guy, like I definitely have something that makes other males, especially white males and my own people, males that I've been around, even if they haven't shown that to me growing up too so much. As we get older, and if there's like basically males, I've noticed that other males around me sometimes get weird on me and get like a little fizzled and competitive. They get competitive, and I haven't really been a super competitive guy, but as I get older, I'm kind of like, dude, you know, people give you a dirty look, it's kind of pisses you off, right? So it's kind of like people looking at you weird from far away, but you know, they don't say nothing when you're right next to them. So it's kind of like that with the other Mexicans around me. It's not the ones that I actually don't know, even though maybe that is the case. But there's like a weird thing. It's dangerous because people of their own color will attack and kill their own people easier than they will kill somebody from another group of people. So I'm like thinking like, motherfucker, are you guys like putting me out there for fucking other Mexicans to be pissed off at me? You know what I'm saying? Like, because in reality, I'm not getting a dollar that from all the work that I've done, that what it's worth. So I'm not getting the due that I need to get where I need to go. And the reason is, and the reason this is happening is because I'm getting stuck in this place. You know, they've been throwing a lot of falsities in my life and a lot of like a little weird innuendo stuff to keep the public from thinking that I'm something that I'm not, you know, a bad person or whatever, you know what I mean? So, but I'm getting this from the authorities, so I was questioning, I was like, dude, is this from like gangs? Like, and it might be like, who knows what was happening before I was an adult, like when I was a kid. So there's a lot of Mexican stuff that's been going on for a long time. We have our own way of dealing with each other and like groups of how we group up or whatever, you know what I mean? So family is always very important, but as like anybody, like Irish people or whoever started from the bottom, is like how they do their group management and dealings. Like I guess Kennedy and his brother, their families sold alcohol, which was looked down upon as a criminal activity. So the Mexicans have their own thing. We've been here forever, and there's an issue. There's an issue with the government and the police force and everyone on what the Mexicans' role is in California and in the United States of America. And so there's been a pushback, with ICE. You see the stuff happening in ICE. You see the stuff happening in immigration. You see the stuff happening in the prison system. You see the stuff happening in the drug world. I believe that, this is all secondhand information. I'm not like connected to the underworld. But this is like affecting people all around me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even my shit. It's like all these other people's shit. And what it is, this marijuana thing is like, there's a weird pushback on the cartels in Mexico, I guess. I mean, this is all stuff I see on Netflix or, Facebook, like little articles I read on Facebook. I don't know. Like I said, it's dangerous for me to even talk about this stuff because, people take this shit super serious. And unbeknownst to me, these white folks, and that when I was doing art shows in Chico and stuff, they were all involved in this shit. And, people around here in Oroville that I know, like my old friends and stuff, were like involved in this shit. You know what I mean? This shit made the news. This shit's like Hollywood shit. So it's like, in the white people world, like maybe they don't care and they're like, they could be buddies and everything. They're not just gonna shoot you just because. But in the Mexican world, there's fucking some weird ass rules because we're not connected to the law. We're not, our brothers and their cousins and our uncles and all these grandparents are not in law and are not the law. So you don't get freebies and shit. So people take this very seriously. So, but we have our own rules. I'm not even super familiar because I grew up over here. But just by knowing how I move and knowing how other people move, our emotions and stuff like that, our reactions and our machismo is, it's dangerous to be put on a snitch list, right? So, or to be associated with those weed growers, the white people weed growers, which I was doing art shows, you know what I mean? And so like, as this stuff escalates in California, who knows what's really going on in Hollywood. But in South California and North California, there's this whole group gang thing, right? So I didn't partake in this because I didn't have to, but it affects me because I'm Mexican. So I'm kind of pissed off because, Mexican, you can call me pocho, you can call me potato or whatever, papa or whatever, and it is what it is. But there's a whole group of people like me that there's different groups, but guys that people from Mexico, maybe your grandkids are gonna be like more like me and don't speak a lot of Spanish and are more into school and college. Doesn't mean I'm white, but it does. But it so we have similarities and we have differences. You know, being a business owner, I respect people from Mexico because these immigrants, you know, I don't even consider them immigrants, to tell you the truth, but they work and discipline themselves to the fullest, and you know, and they look down on the California-born Mexicans because, you know, in my generation before me, there was the welfare system and you know, they don't understand the prison system contributed to the welfare system. You know what I mean? The jobs, if they didn't want to work in the fields, it was a limited amount of jobs you can get, well-paying jobs especially. So there's a difference. There's a whole cultural thing in the Mexican world, and being isolated from getting to mix with my people and people I've known in my life is making it dangerous for me, because these guys are gonna think that, you know, that I'm freaking on the wrong side or whatever, you know, and that's not the truth. So I'm making these videos. I don't even know if they're gonna see these videos, but I feel like I've been used to perpetuate agendas that are not my agendas, and by putting false information and these females in my life that have never confronted me about shit is something real, you know, like fucking that's dangerous, because other males will feel the need to protect women and be, you know, chivalrous. And if I'm looked at upon like that shit, then that puts me 100% in danger. So what I get is the idea that they want me to speak and talk about my life and to speak on this stuff, right? So we can go to court or whatever. And I get it. You know, the thing is, the truth was that I never even knew about this shit for my whole fucking life, dude. Like till 2015-ish. And that's 5 years ago. So the idea that any of this stuff is even like real and escalated to the level that they created a fucking Me Too movement on it or whatever, made these movies on this shit. It's like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, this is creating something that is way beyond me. And I don't know if Steve Jobs died for whatever reason, or if Kurt Cobain died for whatever reason, or who knows. I don't really know, like, the whole situation, man. And this is like dangerous. So the stuff that's happening in Butte County, that's been happening in Butte County, is crazy to me. And to think that it was happening when I didn't even know what was going on, really endangered me and my family and put us in a really bad place. And if my family members traded up on me, especially other males in my family, like, you know, threw me out under the bus or whatever, for they can get a better position in whatever jobs or whatever they're doing, whether with the Mexicans or with the white folks or black folks or Chinese folks or whatever, Russians. It pisses me off because it's like, dude, like, now nobody can talk to me because now I'm in quarantine, now I'm in isolation. And I put a lot of hours and work into being a great artist, and to think that somebody's insinuations of who I am, my character slaying, character assassination on the internet has happened. pisses me off. Because it doesn't only affect me, it affects everyone that I've ever known, especially my loved ones. Women and my fucking own, my nieces and family, This is like some fucking heavy shit. And this is why I talk about it like this, I can talk nice and I've been nice. I've been nice for a really long time. And if I have to speak on this publicly, I will, because I'm not even sure if people are going to see this, and I'm thinking that, or at least the right people are going to see this. So for all the authority figures, other males, for the military and the police officers and the firefighters and the governor and the Hollywood people and artist people, all those rich white folks, you know what I mean? Like, all you guys know, since I've been character profiled for all these years, who I am. Like, why do you guys even think this is justified? I mean, if you got problems with Mexicans, deal with it. Don't put me there. You know what I mean? Like, that's not my problem. I should be like Basquiat, Jean-Michel Basquiat, and a lot of these black folks. We're artists first, really, and we should be appreciated for our work, what we bring to the table, and even thinkers and scientists, So, how you treat people is definitely a reflection on your society and who's going to be running the society next. Like, we're intermingling, we're mixing, we're creating a new America. There's some people that don't want that. There's some people that want the Confederate flag going and keep the old ways. But the thing is, it's never been perfect. It's never been hunky-dory where everybody gets along or there's been peace. So there's always going to be, for anybody, whoever runs the show next, and these next generation after us, is going to be better than us in the way where, like, I guess what the people are trying to do is inclusion, because they know a country against itself can't stand. The citizens against themselves can't stand. And then there's other competition in the world. So I don't really appreciate being used against the people that are down with the Confederate flag and all that stuff, because they're dangerous as well. I mean, they're pretty you mix in drugs on that stuff, it's just kind of, you get crazy people. And then the Mexicans, as far as I know, like, I don't know what's going on with the Norteños and the Sureños, like if they are still rivaling with each other. I don't know what that is happening, people from Mexico and California, but that's dangerous to me, and because my life is worth less to those guys as far as Pocho style, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm out here, trying to fight for Chicano rights and, trying to represent. And so white folks are not going to be digging it too much. And if the Mexican people think I'm a traitor or whatever, that's, you know what I mean? Got me nowhere to go. So, which is totally opposite of anything that I'm doing. So I don't appreciate being lied about or being put in a weird predicament of having to put myself out there like this and talking about things that are happening around me, because a lot of weird stuff, as you guys all know, is happening around us, and power structures are changing and all this stuff. And I'm kind of defenseless out here by being put into a place where I'm babied by whoever's in authority, because it makes these other people aggravated because I intend to shine, you know what I mean? I'm shining everywhere I go. That's my personality. I'm always going to be the artist guy. I can't be quiet guy in the corner in a little room and not get my money. I need my money. I need my nice shit. I need to dress nice. I need to go to the show. I need to have a suit on. I need freaking nice car. I need, beautiful woman. I need, I need all the shit that people in Hollywood have because that's what I've been working on for. And that's what I need. I need to go mingle with people. I need the mingling, association. I can't do business in isolation. I can't do business with false accusations. I can't do business with secret weird shit happening in my name because I got to do business with Mexican people. Mexican people are the people that are going to buy my shit. They're the ones that I'm making art about and for. That's different than all the white creators that none of the white creators can make. Even that stupid El Mariachi, or no, not El Mariachi. What the hell was that dumb movie? El Chicano. Dude, that movie, it almost was, I didn't really even watch it too much, but it you know what I mean? Like when you put us in these movies and stuff, it's like really one-dimensional and biased. So when you get white creators creating content for us, it's kind of like, dude, this is all right, but not really. So that's where I need to fit in. That's where I fit in, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to create a freaking revolution. I'm not trying to create, problems for decent people, for good people, for people that actually want a better world. That's kind of my job and stuff. That's what I do. So for these other people that put me in their agendas or whatever, I'm not really digging it. I haven't been digging it. 5 years of my life in isolation has been pretty fucked up. And as a human being and a male, this is for history. Making these video blogs, I don't know if anybody's going to even watch these video blogs in the future. But at least it's documented. I'm documenting this shit because it's happening. It's really happening. People can say I'm schizophrenic or crazy or whatever, but as I document this stuff, people understand what's really going on, and because we're all having to deal with shit that's way out of ordinary, very unorthodox situations, and we all want to protect our families. We all want to protect our future and to get what we need to strive, and to flourish. So I'm no different, and I'm not getting that, and it's huge groups of people that are stopping me from that, and I'm just a human being, and so let's not go there. It's all right. I've given you guys 5 years of fucking around with my life, even longer. It's been seriously, dude, this is some weird shit. Not even just the people that I knew and grew up around, my people in Butte County, but this is goes on before that and before that and before that. So if I have to deal with other Mexicans from my parents' generation, I would have dealt with that when it came and dealt with it so that there was less of a situation. And that needs to happen because I can't, like I said, I'm vulnerable when I go out into the world. I'm vulnerable when I go out into the world, and my mother and my father, my family, I love them, but I'm not going to stay under their wings. And the other males, whether you're white or you're Mexican or whatever, if you feel intimidated by me, that's your problem. And, like a real male, if you have a problem with me, we should probably talk about it personally and deal with it so that we don't have to keep going, because, it's easy to talk shit about me when I'm on a computer or whatever, but I'm not here to please people. I'm not here to to be hated on and to be, have people act stupid with me. So this has to end. I've been working on my art and finishing all these lifelong projects that I needed to get done before we had the full confrontation of people acting stupid. So I'm pretty much there, and anything I do next, this has to happen. So I'm making this video blog about it. The hurt on my family, the destruction of my family unit hasn't been unnoticed, and that's a family issue, and I don't, a lot of stuff's been public, a lot of stuff without me putting it out there. It's been public, and I don't appreciate it. I'm sure they don't appreciate it, but I think people blaming me for shit that I didn't do. So so whether the FBI or CIA or Homeland Security or gang NSA or whoever, Silicon Valley, whoever's been cracking down on the Mexicans and the Mexican Americans, or whatever, even the Mexican, this whole drug stuff and the whole, I fucking don't agree with the lifestyle myself. Like, I'm not down with growing marijuana. I'm not down with it because of that exact reason. It brings problems. It brings all these problems. And same thing with the meth, I'm not down with that. I've never been a meth addict. Somebody put that in the pipe of who I was in my 20s when I went to go visit my family. They fucking thought I was on meth because I was skinnier. You know what I mean? Like, whether that was something that somebody told them or they just came up with that on their own. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now in hindsight, I'm like, dude, these guys really thought I fucking did meth. And that's like one of the worst things that I hate in the world, you know what I mean? Like, these drugs that destroy people and destroy families. And I'm not down with the people that deal it or make a living off of it. Even if I don't hate on people that have to deal with whatever they're dealing with, I don't associate with it, and I don't like to be associated with that. And the astounding misunderstanding that I even partook in anything like that was, so that was like family, you know what I mean? Like, consider like all these other people that are not family. And so I'm dealing with repercussions of this false information that's been put on me, and I'm not appreciating it. And this is the best way I feel I could, I have to talk about it because, like I said, I've been in isolation for a really long time. And, 5 years is a long time. So even if things change, that stuff on people's names, when you put stuff on people's names, doesn't go away with a piece of paper. And, so that's the situation that I'm in, and it has to be clarified and cleared up and dealt with, and it will be, but I'm not going to wait till I'm fucking 70 for this stuff to get finished. People say it stems from these women, and it's like, dude, I don't believe that. First of all, I know it doesn't for the beginning, especially the beginning, because of the actual details of the situations and the people that were involved, and um, and then the stuff that happened after. You know what I mean? This is some old, weird ass white people shit that they do to hang people. That's why I'm saying it like this, because that, you know, you put a woman, of course they're gonna hate on me and stuff. You know what I mean? So, but the fact that they didn't confront me, you know, for 15 years or whatever, 20 years or whatever, that by itself is fucking wrong. That's wrong, because it turned into this. It turned into a lot of people in a weird place. And even if I got to create my art, I would have ventured further. And I call it racism because I think it would have been dealt with if it wasn't. It would have been dealt with in a different way, in a better way. And a long time ago, you know. So the fact that that there happens to be just the way it came about. So the way it came about and the way it reared its head and the way it escalated into what it is kind of weird. So, you know, you can't get back years. A lot of people imprisoned and dead because of weird situations. So I'm not saying, like, you know, I'm not saying I'm not thankful to still be alive and to still be able to create or whatever. But I just don't like it, man. You know, like, Ollie got to be great, but he didn't really get his full share, and none of us do. And that's kind of like the weird thing about all of our interconnections, is that the energy of the world and the energy of what we get and what we don't get. You don't need to be Mexican or black to feel the weight of the world and the repercussions of hate and all the stuff like that, you know, or gangs or drugs. So this is all stuff that we're all going through. And male and female, you know, like, there is a difference, you know. We don't quite understand each other. And that's been going on for the whole time. So this is nothing different. We're still on that level. I'm on that level with you guys, and this is not cool with me. And obviously it must not be cool with you. So let's, you know, deal with it like a normal human being. And I don't know what the authorities are doing or the drug dealers and everyone else doing, but I'm just a human being, and I know what I've done in my life, and it's not even equivalent to anything that people are trying to do and say to me disrespectfully. And if it stems from somebody out there, you know, 5 years is a long time, 20 years is a long time. And I don't know if people died from this. I don't know what happened. I really don't know. You know, like, on my side of the family, like, there's some weird shit that happened, you know, like, I don't know. Like, I don't really want to speak on it because I don't know. But I got to do what I got to do in this world, in this life. And I don't really feel like walking the same path people before me in my family lineage and my cultural place. You know what I mean? I don't really feel like going that route. But I put enough in the world. I think I've accomplished a lot, even if I didn't get, like, everything didn't stem from me. Like I feel like I've changed the world in some weird way. So, okay, so it's almost an hour, so I'm gonna get out of here, talk to you guys again.